Okay, everybody, I am Dr. Jacob Larson. This is Read, Write, and Cite, channel where I teach you how to read, write, and cite for your college classes. Today, I'm going to be talking about research questions and how they kind of set you up to figure out what comes next. Okay, so here we go. If you could see my screen. So I've come up with a sample research question. With the research question, what you want to do, after you've figured out a topic that you want to research, maybe an issue, you want to figure out a question that if you could answer it, it would give you a solution, at least in part, to the problem. So if we want to know, if we've observed that COVID-19 has really affected the mental health of students, for example, we might write it up in a question, something like this. How did COVID-19 affect the mental health of high school students in America? Now, this has a lot of specific parts to it. We start with identifying how did COVID-19 affect, and then affect what? Mental health for who? High school students, where? And America. So there's kind of like 4 overlapping parts to this question. Now, the good part about coming up with a really specific research question is it also helps you to figure out all the different things that you can research and kind of how they overlap with each other, because you may not find research that is exactly on your topic. But what you might find is how a couple different areas of your topic overlap with each other, and you can find research in those areas. Okay, so let's look at how this works. If our topic again, how did COVID-19 affect the mental health of high school students in America, then that gives us kind of like a Venn diagram with 4 big circles. And as we look at this, we've got a big circle for mental health and COVID-19 and high school students in America. And I'm just realizing some of my colors might not line up with the presentation I put together. Sorry if they're wrong. Anyway, so let's look at, and this spot right here in the middle where everything overlaps, that is your paper. But you might bring in a little bit of this to talk about it, a little bit of this area to talk about it, a little bit of this area to talk about it, so that when you put everything together, you've got a really specific, efficient, and usable collection of research to address your question, because that's what everything is about to begin with. Okay, so let's say, for example, again, I've got these 2 things wrong on the left-hand side, so sorry about that. Okay, so let's say I'm researching. Part of the overlap for my topics is I am researching COVID-19. I'm also researching mental health. So that spot in the middle might be somewhere where I want to research. Not just COVID-19, not just mental health, though I can research each of them and they might have information that's relevant to my topic. But I can also look at that intersection. How has COVID-19 affected mental health? So it's not as specific as my overall question, but I might be able to ask that partial question to get some information. And there might be someone, maybe lots of someones, who've done some research on that intersection that I can look up. Does this make sense? Okay, that being said, now let's say I look at mental health, but I'm also looking at high school students. There's going to be an overlap of research going long before COVID-19 ever showed up, talking about mental health for high school students. And that might give me some context that I can bring into my research paper that can show me before and after, that can show me some relevant issues that were here long before COVID happened, that I can track with other research that I find that's specific to the pandemic. So that's one area that I can research as well. I can also look at overlap between mental health and America. And so there might be some information that's relevant there that I may not have thought of searching by itself, but it's part of my topic. I'm talking about mental health. I'm talking about America. I might just look at state of mental health in America And yes, I'm going more specific to students at the high school level, but the overall picture of mental health in America is also relevant to my topic. So I might bring that in as part of maybe sources to round out my literature review. Now, when you put it all together, obviously, you've got COVID-19, you've got mental health, you've got high school students, you've got America, and we're hoping to draw on all this information that we might be able to collect to answer our question. Sitting in the middle, how did COVID-19 affect the mental health of high school students in America? That's the ultimate question for our sample here. But to get to that, if you can't find that research, you might zoom out just a little bit and look at some of the other overarching circles that are relevant to our topic. Now, this may feel like it's too specific. Oh man, what if I can't find that? That's one reason why you get specific, is it helps you to identify, like our graphic here, all the different overlapping topics that you're going to be researching for your paper, that this helps you know, okay, I can search some of these together, but even then, I can just get information on COVID-19. I could get information on mental health. I can get information on high school students. I can get information on America, but especially in those areas where they overlap with each other, there might be some really relevant information to the paper that I would hypothetically be writing. So I hope that makes sense. Again, let's just review real fast. You want to come up with a research question that drives your research process. You want to come up with a question that, if you can answer it, will help to solve the problem that you're researching. And by making it specific and identifying all the different parts, what are you researching? Who does it affect? Is there anything specific about this group of people? Where are they at? You put all those together, you get something like this sample research question, and then you look at where these areas overlap in their Venn diagram, and then it helps you figure out, okay, I'm not just researching one topic. I can bring in information from all of these overlapping topics to flesh out my paper, to find what other people have said, and then I can synthesize that information to answer my question. Does that make sense? When I taught it this way in class, I was like, oh, I should write that. I should record that to, to help you. So I hope that this was helpful. Again, I'm Dr. Jacob Larson. This is Read, Write, and Cite, channel where I answer your questions, and I hope I answered some questions. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.